After everyone gathered their thoughts, they headed into town and had a pretty quiet lunch. When they were finished, they talked lightly about what to do next, but outside of attempting to gather still more information, they were at a loss. Niccolo got bored of sitting around and returned to the old church to ask the priest about the wolf god, but he returned empty-handed quickly. After that, they all returned to the inn, agreeing that if they couldn't come up with a plan of moving forward, that they could at least come up with a plan to protect Dawn at nightfall. Their strategy was pretty simple in that she should hide herself in the closet and Cardi would protect her from outside it. They were gathered around a small table, eating snacks and trying to think of a way to proceed when they noticed it. In the corner of the room sat what Jacob at first didn't think was the same small box they'd seen before, but the more he examined it, the more he realized that it was the same one. "Hey man, what are you staring at?" Niccolo asked, noticing he'd been absent for the conversation for a few minutes. Jacob just pointed to the box, and Niccolo immediately got up and went over to it. Without hesitation, he picked it up and carried it back to the table. Jacob could hear something sloshing inside with every step. Niccolo ran a finger over the lid. "I think this is the same one from before, but," he remarked. Jacob and Leal nodded. "It's so odd. It's almost doubled in size," Leal said, putting a hand to her chin. "But it's just a wooden box. How could it grow?" Jacob asked, to be met with shrugs. Niccolo opened up the lid, and they were immediately struck by the stench of death, along with a heavy iron taste permeating the air and the foul flavor of blood. Niccolo cringed when he saw it was filled with blood. "A big box that can grow? That sounds just like the one in our basement," Dawn remarked to herself. Everyone turned and looked at her with wild, frightened eyes. "What? You're telling me your daddy has a box like this one? One that can grow bigger?" Niccolo asked in shock. She nodded. "Yeah, it was just a little box when we found it, but it started eating the rats in the basement and getting bigger. And now it's so big it's like a treasure chest," she explained. "Eating rats? You mean this box is alive?" Leal asked, standing up and taking a couple steps back. "I guess so. They don't like doing anything if they think someone's watching," Dawn replied. Everyone's eyes went even wider. "Dawn, what else do you know about these boxes?" Jacob asked urgently. Not much. They have arms and legs and lots of teeth. But the only other thing I know is that after you fill them up, they sometimes get sick and spit out lots of those coins. The ones with the wolf on them?" "Oh my gods," Niccolo said, looking ill. "What? Fill them up? Like with what?" Jacob asked with concern. "Daddy said he's feeding it meat, but I'm not allowed in the basement to go see anymore," Dawn explained. Everyone went paler. "Your father is feeding these creatures?" Leal asked. Dawn winced, seeming upset by her mother's tone. "Wait a second. Hiding its own body, a chest that can grow. Jacob, I think these things might be mimics," Niccolo explained, now looking over the creature in greater detail. "A mimic? Master Nike told me about those. I guess that could make sense. But I thought mimics disguised themselves as treasure chests and tried to eat anyone who opens them. These creatures seem different," Jacob remarked. "We don't have time to worry about that now. We should go confront Randy about the mimic in his basement and get him to tell us everything," we all said. "Maybe we should examine this one a little closer first," Niccolo offered.